All right, let's come into mountain pose and do our warm-ups and a little hip focused things today. So, mountain pose, feet hip width apart, toes straight ahead, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders lined up. Activate your core to support your spine. So ribs toward your spine and then lifting toward your heart. Relax your shoulders, lift your crown to the ceiling, and take a moment just breathing, focusing inward, getting that yoga perspective. And then inhale, arms at shoulder level, stretch out through your fingertips. Exhale, hands to your chest. Inhale out to the front, shoulders down, and then clasp them around behind you. Press the fingers toward the floor just gently and lift your heart. Exhale, pivot at your hips and come on over. Begin stretching your spine. Take a moment breathing. Move your chin around, release your neck. Lift your hips and stretch your legs. And then bend your knees slightly. Work your way back up and lift your heart. Shoulders down and head slightly back, but don't lift your chin too high. And then inhale upright, releasing, and just observing how your spine is warming up. And then again, inhale, shoulder level, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, shoulders staying down, and then clasp the opposite way behind you as you press down and lift your heart. So feel that little back bend, and then pivot over, rounding slightly. And again, just deepen as much as you'd like on this, and bend your knees, work your way back up, and once more, lift your heart. So get that spine working, energy flowing through it. Inhale upright, and release again into mountain pose. We'll do our side stretches, so let's keep one arm down, the other arm out, palm to the ceiling, hand right above your shoulder. Push them away and lean slowly over to the side without a twist. So make sure that the foot goes down you're leaning away from to give those ribs an extra stretch as you reach your head and hand to the side. Take a moment and breathe into it. Then inhale up, releasing your arm. Feel the difference and balance it out. Arm up, shoulder level, palm to the ceiling, hand above your shoulder. Stretch the hands away as you lean again to the opposite side and push your foot a little deeper for that stretch through the ribs. Take a moment, keep looking forward or slightly up and stretch away. And again, inhale to the top, releasing into mountain pose. And then we need to get ready for our twist, so make sure those bones separate by pushing the sitting bones one way and the base of the skull the other way. Bring your arms again to shoulder level, palms up, hands above your shoulders, and just clasp your elbows. Stretch your spine apart and turn to one side. Spread your toes, keep the weight on both feet, and exhale, coming over in your twist. Take a moment and breathe. Just relax. And again, lifting your sitting bones, stretch your legs a little bit. Keep the weight on both feet as you come back up. And again, lift your heart just gently as you drop your shoulders down and pull your elbows slightly back. So remember, upper body only for your back bend when you're in the twist. Inhale back up, exhale to the center and switch your arms. Keep them by the ears and stretch your spine apart, turning to the other side. Another breath and come on over. And again, just deepen as far as you'd like on this side. See if the weight's still on both feet as evenly as you can. Keep your arms next to your ears and come on back up. And again, lift your heart, stretch your head back, drop your shoulders down, and lift that heart. Breathing into that upper body back bend. And then inhale up, exhale around to the center, shoulders down, fingertips high. Stretching up, keep the arms by your ears and pivot forward, stretch it out and drop into ragdoll. Take a moment and breathe. Pull in deeper, get a stretch on your back if you like it. And then arms to the front, once again winding back into mountain pose. Take a moment to breathe, feeling your spine all activated from its movements in 6 directions. And then lengthen up through the spine and just gently side to side, working that spine a little bit more in the windmill. Keep the head reaching up, shoulders down, relaxing away from your ears, and just relax. And then back to the center. And oh yeah, let's do the backstroke and swimming and get those arms moving a little bit too. And then clasp your arms behind your low back or bring your fingertips up between your shoulder blades for that reverse prayer position, just to keep your shoulders down. We'll do some hip circles. So bring the hips around in a nice big circle. Feel the legs moving, the ankles working a little bit as well. And just go through that circuit a few times and then stop and circle the other direction. Just get the hips starting to move as you breathe. And then releasing in mountain pose. Let's do a little balance practice. So lift your toes on your balance foot, whichever one you like better. Spread them out as you put them back down, but don't grip. Make sure the ball of the foot is supporting you along with the heel, up through the ankle, knee, and hip, aligning with the shoulder. Give those core muscles a little extra work, supporting your spine. So back toward your spine and up with those ribs. And then when you're stable, reach the head toward the ceiling as you bring your other leg up without crossing it over. And when it's wherever you'd like it to go today, just circle the ankle. Breathe with it. Spread those toes on the ground. Don't grip. And then bringing that leg back down, shift to the other side for our just gentle balance practice. Again, make sure the ball of the foot is even, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined, core working, spine stretching up through the crown as you shift to that other side and bring the leg up. And again, find stability and work your ankle. Take a breath or two as you do it, just relaxing. And straightening it out, bring it back down. And then let's get our pelvis working a little more with our pelvic tilts. So angle your toes slightly out, bend your knees toward, not beyond your toes. Hands above your knees, just straighten your spine. And then drop the ribs forward and lift the sitting bones, moving that pelvis up and back, coming into a little back bend. And then tucking the sitting bones down and forward as you pull the belly in, ribs toward your spine, looking down in that forward position. So nice C shape in the exhale, and then a nice arch of the back in a back bend as you come into that in-breath. Exhaling, rounding, inhaling, lengthening through the hips. So the whole pelvis moves as you're working that, getting those hips warming up a little bit more. Keep breathing. Remember, not a lot of pressure in your knees with your hands. They're just positioning you to keep your shoulders over your toes. Take a breath. See if you can keep those knees slightly bent right above your toes. Just moving the pelvis, moving the spine, working that belly a little bit as well. And then the next time you're forward, just come on back up, inhaling into mountain pose once again. Take a breath. Exhale, tension. And let's step to the end of the mat, hands to your heart, and inhale them toward the ceiling. A little back bend coming back, and swan dive forward, coming all the way over into ragdoll. Hands up under your knees, stretch and straighten your shins, And then bending your knees, hands to the floor, and let's step into plank position. So get your ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders as lined up as you can. If you're sagging a little bit through the hips, just hike a little bit, pushing the sitting bones slightly up more. Hands right under your shoulders, spread the fingers, get the whole palm of your hand supporting you. And then we're going to slide the toes back and drop the hips slightly further toward the floor, coming into an up dog. So the knees are off the floor, the hips are off the floor, the chest is forward, and you do have pressure in your hands on this one. So take a moment, just dropping those hips a little bit more. Feel the back, feel the hips. Exhale, tension. And then flip the toes under and push your hips up. Come into down dog. So you may need to adjust your feet a little bit. Push your sitting bones way up and back. Arms next to your ears. And head reaching toward your hands. Heels drop toward the floor, but they don't go all the way down. Press way into your hands again, the whole palm supporting you in the down dog position. Take a moment and breathe. And then come up on your toes, bend your knees, bring them all the way to the floor. Slide your toes to the floor, and then drop your chest forward between your hands. Come all the way down on your belly, and pull your elbows in toward your sides. No pressure in your hands now for a nice little cobra. So take a moment there, hips down toward the floor. Exhaling any tension. And then exhale and bring your forehead down to the neck. Relax, pull your elbows in toward your side, down to the floor, and we'll go up once more into a little Sphinx Cobra. So remember, no pressure in your arms for support, just let the spine do the work. Hips are on the floor, and the chest is forward and up. Keep your chin slightly toward your chest, shoulders down toward your waist. Take a moment and breathe as you reach that crown up toward the ceiling as much as it wants to go. And then again, as you exhale, bring your forehead down. Slide your hands back under your shoulders and press up and back and come into child pose. Take a breath. Just relax. Forehead down toward the floor. Exhaling any stress or tension. And then inhale, sitting up on your heels. Let's come into staff position and bring the legs out in front. So press out through your heels, pulling back with your toes. You let the knees come down toward the floor as much as they want for a nice stretch on your legs. Sitting bones slightly behind you as always. Hips and shoulders lined up and core supporting your spine. Let's warm up the hips a little bit more. Bring your foot up toward your thigh and letting that knee come just gently toward the floor as we always let that hip get a nice warm up before we work it too much. So take a moment and breathe, just relaxing. Letting the knee go toward the floor as much as it wants. Remember, if you're tight today, you can bring that front leg over to the side even more. And you can add a little weight from your hand or hands on the knee if you'd like to encourage it to go toward the floor. But remember, don't push, that resists. And that just makes it not stretch as much. So just let it go, do its own thing. Take a breath or two. Just relaxing. And when you're ready, hands on your knee and ankle or pulling in the leg and wrapping your arms around. Let's rotate side to side, letting that hip get a little bit more lubrication. So remember, keep your spine nice and straight, keep the core active, supporting your back, crown to the ceiling, shoulders relaxed down, and just moving that hip gently. If you like it more, higher or closer, you can intensify it, but you never need to do that if that's not right for your body. And then when you've had enough warming up on that side, Let your leg go back out and feel the difference. Remember, noticing those things, that's our yoga. We want to make sure that we're paying attention to our bodies. So again, sitting bones are behind, spine is straight, shoulders relaxed as you bring that other foot up toward your thigh. And again, only as high on the thighs it wants to go for your body. Personal practice always. Letting the knee come down. If this is your tight side, remember, you can move that leg over. Or you can remember also pad behind you if that helps give you a little pelvic tilt to open it a little bit more. Take a moment, just letting that hand add a little weight, or hands if you like that as well. Knee going toward the floor only as far as it wants to go. If you had a hip injury or something, it may not go there. Don't worry, just let it happen. It'll stretch when you allow it to, but don't force it. And then again, bringing your leg up into your arms, we're holding on. Just let's rotate again on this side. So remember, let the hip get warmed up, because the warmer things are, the more they like to work and let you do a little bit more work with those areas. Take a breath, maximize or minimize, do what's right for your body today, because each day is different. And then exhaling back into staff position. Once again, just feel the body and notice how your hips are responding today. Let's do a little butterfly just to check how that inner thigh is stretching also. So clasp your hands under your toes, pull those heels back toward you as much as they want to go. And again, let the knees come toward the floor on their own pace. Take a breath. Stretch the spine, relax the thighs, and just let those knees drop as they move. You can bring your elbows to your knees and give a little extra weight if that helps. And then after a few moments of breathing, just bring your hands under your shoulders behind you and press gently into the hands, releasing those inner core muscles and letting the knees again maybe drop a little further toward the floor today if that's where they want to go. Remember, personal practice, don't force it. It never has to happen. Take a breath. Just relax, let it happen. And then release your hands, slide your feet a little forward, bring your hands under and put them on the tops of your feet and bring your chest down, giving a good stretch to your spine along the back of your body. And then releasing, coming back up, hands releasing, lift your knees, bring the legs back out into staff position. And then let's go up on hands and knees, just briefly. So with elbows and shoulders lined up, get that core working, and then bring the knees to the sides of the mat with the feet still toward each other. And then bring the elbows toward the side of the mat, moving the hands slightly forward and fingertips touching in front. And then we'll slide into our frog pose. So hips back toward your heels, chest toward the floor as much as you like, feeling that stretch again through the hips. And then slide forward toward your thumbs and back, swimming your frog as far as you'd like to go. Coming forward, chest toward your thumbs, and then sliding back, hips toward your heels. Keep the hips as low toward the floor as feels okay for your hips today. Just breathing, relaxing, letting those hips just move along and back a few more times. And then coming back, hips toward your heels, bring your elbows back in, hands straight to the front, bring your knees in, and come on back up into table position. Get those ribs up, support your spine, and then sink back, hips toward your heels. Reach your arms forward in that extended child, and don't forget to breathe. And then slide your hands slightly further forward, bring your forehead toward the floor, into wisdom pose. Take a moment and breathe. Just relax all the way down into the mat. And then inhaling, sit up, kneeling with your hips back toward your heels as much as they like to go. Remember, you can pad under the knees if that's better for you, or you can put padding between your calves and thighs or heels and hips if you need to release any stress on your knees. We're going to clasp the hands behind, one finger, one thumb on the outside, and then pressing the hands down toward the floor. Feel that chest expansion slightly opening. And we're going to bring the hands up, exhaling and pivot over, forehead down toward the floor, hands up toward the ceiling. A little kneeling yoga mudra. Take a moment breathing. Knees as close as you like for that back stretch, or separated slightly if that's better for you. And then inhale, bring your face forward to the front, hands down toward your hips as you come back up, sitting again toward your heels. And then switch your hands to the other clasp, other thumb on the outside. And again, opening the shoulders, pressing the hands down toward your toes, looking slightly up, a little upper body back bend there. And exhale, chin coming toward your chest as your forehead comes toward the floor and your hands go up toward the ceiling. And again, work as much into that as you'd like. Shoulders going, relaxing toward your waist, hands toward your head, as much or as little as needs today. Take a breath, just relax. Again, just allow yourself to deepen, and then face forward, crown coming up. Keep the chin in, don't overdo that neck, and hands back toward your heels as you sit back up. Take a breath. Just relaxing and release into your kneeling position. Take a moment to breathe, and then we'll slide the hands again forward toward the edges of the mat, feet back toward the back of the mat. Drop your hips, roll onto your belly, and resting crocodile, head to one side, hands palms up, shoulders down. Take a breath or two, relaxing. And then exhaling, turn your head to the opposite side. Take a moment there, just breathe and relax, feet hip width apart, and we'll do a little bit more cobra work. So bring your forehead to the mat, bring your hands next to your face, elbows in, and inhale, face toward the front, crown toward the ceiling, shoulders, shoulder blades toward your waist. Bring your chest forward and up. Keep your ribs on the floor and just come into a little Sphinx position as you're in your cobra position. Take a moment and breathe. Crowns toward the ceiling, chin slightly in so the back of the neck keeps stretching and the whole body is lengthening, supported by the spine. Remember, your hands don't support you, just the spine. Hands are positioning. Take a moment and breathe. Exhaling tension. And then exhale again and bring your forehead down. So we're going to go into our Sphinx position, Cobra, and then we're going to really stretch the spine apart and do a twist. So just be prepared. Starting forehead on the floor, hands next to your face, elbows in toward your sides. Pull the elbows back toward your shoulder, toward your hips. And then inhale, face forward, crown toward the ceiling. Tuck the chin back toward your chest a little bit, stretch your neck. Chest forward and up, coming into your Sphinx Cobra. Relax the hips, shoulders, and stretch your head out. So remember, the lower body does nothing in the Cobra. Just let it sink into the floor, feet hip width apart. Stretch the spine with the sitting bones going back toward your toes and the crown up, stretching away. And then as you exhale, turn to one side. Lift the hip you're turning towards slightly. So your hips, ribs, and shoulder all turn toward the direction that you're facing. Take a moment and breathe, stretching into that twist as much or as little. Be gentle if you need to. And then as you exhale or rotate back, hip back down, and body facing the front. Take a breath. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Take a moment, feeling that twist energy through your spine, and relax. And of course, we'll do our twist to the other side. So inhale, face forward, crown up, tuck the chin, shoulders back and down, chest forward and up, coming as high into your Sphinx Cobra as you'd like. No pressure in your arms. Stretch the spine apart for our twist, get it really lengthening, and then exhaling, turn to the other side. Hip coming up, ribs, shoulder, everything turning to the side as you look toward that opposite side of your mat. Take a breath, stretching out through the crown, breathing into, maximizing or minimizing however much your twist needs to happen. Exhale, bring the hip back down, turning back to the center, lengthening through the crown, and exhaling, again, bringing your forehead to the mat. As it gets down, slide the hands again under your shoulders, and push once more into a nice forward bend child pose, bringing those hips all the way back toward your heels. Take a breath, just relaxing down. Breathe, stretching and relaxing. And then inhale, sitting up, slide off, and bring your feet all the way to the end of the mat. And again, in staff position, as you get there, press out through your heels, bring that back of the legs area down for a stretch. Hips and shoulders lined up, core active, supporting your spine, and crown to the ceiling. Stretch up and breathe, relaxing. Keep that core working as you slowly round through that lower back down to the floor, bringing your ribs, shoulder blades, shoulders, and head all the way to the mat. Take another breath as you get all the way down, and we'll do a little twist before we do our final relaxation. Hands out to T position, palms up, sitting bones toward your heels, bend your knees slightly and bring the heels in right near your sitting bones, and relax. Take a moment and breathe, exhaling tension, pressing your back down, and then a little arch up, lifting your ribs, working that low back just gently. And then sliding your left leg out, bring the right foot to your left thigh, and we'll do our bent knee twist. So go ahead, roll to the side, bring your hands together in front of you, head on the floor. Remember, don't overwork your neck, and bring the knee all the way to the floor if that works for you. Remember, if you've got low back issues, you might want a pillow under the knee. And then bring your right hand right above your shoulder, and we're going to bring the back of the hand at shoulder level behind you toward the floor. It may not make it, don't worry. We're just bringing that body into your twist. So the knee stays down for the lower back twist. Up if you need it, up slightly with a pillow if you want. And head turning as you look toward the hand behind you, as you lower it toward the floor, letting that neck area get into your twist as well. And your hand going toward the floor brings the middle back into the twist as much as your body is ready to do. Don't forget to breathe into it. Exhaling, relaxing tension. Letting your body stretch into the twist. And of course, on your own, you'll want to hold it longer, letting things adjust as much as they need to. But for now, just release your knee, rolling onto your back, and slide the foot near the other one, feeling that twist energy through you. Take a moment, breathing, shoulders down, hands at T position, and we'll bend the left knee, foot to the right thigh, for our twist to the other side. So again, rolling all the way over, knee to the floor. Keep your head down, don't overwork your neck. Hold your knee with the hand on the floor, And the other hand comes up again above your shoulder. Left hand moving at shoulder level. So don't move it up toward your head or down toward your toes, but just let the back of the hand go as much toward the floor as it wants to go. It may not make it, don't worry. Just go into the twist as much as your body wants you to go. Remember, you can have the pillow under the knee on this side if this side is your issue side. And don't forget to breathe. So the knee down is your lower back twist. Head turning is your neck area twist. Hand and shoulder going toward the floor, that's your middle back. Let it twist as much or as little as your body is ready to do. Exhaling, releasing ligaments, letting things lower even more into the twist whenever your body is ready, but never forcing it. Take a breath or two, just relaxing, allowing the twist. Exhaling any tightness. And of course, when you're ready to release, just letting go of the knee, rolling onto your back, sliding the foot near the other one. And again, working your way into our corpse position for relaxation. Shoulders down into the mat. Toes toward each other, just releasing. Focusing on your feet, knees, and hips. Just let your lower body release. Everything softening and sinking. Shoulders relaxing as you turn your hands palms up, allowing the chest to open. And the head to move maybe gently side to side, releasing your neck as well. Coming into your neutral position, just let everything soften and sink down into that earth support and let your body go. Deep breaths. Exhaling, just releasing any tension. Focusing inward, finding any points of tightness, softening with your breath, letting it go, deepening the contact of your body into the earth support. And as your body relaxes more and more with each breath, just let it release into the earth support, free to relax. And allow your mind to release your body and your thoughts, allowing the thoughts of the past and anticipation of the future to disappear from your awareness as well. Just breathing deep, let the thoughts disappear along with the breath without awareness. And allow that deepening sensation deep within to fill your body and your mind with the peace deep within. And as you fill your body and mind with peace, just take a few moments relaxing into the peace and being peace. Just keep breathing, relaxing, being peace, as long as you have time today. But if it's time to get ready for the rest of your day, whenever that may be, just begin moving your body gently, drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the wound through your body. And as you breathe more deeply, stretch your body more completely. Just whenever you're ready, breathe and stretch and allow yourself to get ready for that final yoga hug of appreciation. Sitting bones toward your heels, heels toward your hips, and knees up toward your heart whenever you're ready. Wrapping your arms around for that appreciative yoga hug and appreciating your body's work today in yoga and the work your body does every day for you. And when you're ready to release, head and feet to the floor, roll to the side, and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.